Hi, this is my second meditation video. And in the first video, it was very brief, and I explained that I've, over at least 20 years, developed my own approach to meditation. And the first thing I talked about was the fact that I lie down when I meditate versus sitting up, and I explained why. Um, in this clip, I want to talk about um, the idea of breathing and controlling the breath. And I have a very different take on this than what I've read, uh, in other people's prescriptions on how to meditate. What I've read about, controlling the breath and other people's approach to meditating is it's really controlling the the rate of breathing and the depth or shallowness of the breathing, which is pretty basic. Um, but I want to explain my unique view of what it means to control the breath through during meditation. The way that I think about the breath and controlling the breath is I think about the breath, very literally as being expansion and contraction. It's about the process of expanding and contracting. It's about the cycle of expanding and contracting, which we know is a fundamental function in the universe, right? It's a fundamental process that exists in so many dimensions in the universe, right? Um, so when I think about controlling the breath, yes, to some extent, that yes, it's about controlling the rate of breathing, right? But it's also about controlling the shallowness of the breathing, or the shallowness of the expansion and contraction. So there's the rate of expansion and contraction, and the shallowness. You could expand a lot or a little, right? But it's also about controlling the direction of the expansion. So when we breathe normally, we're expanding, our lungs are expanding and contracting in every direction, right? When the lungs expand, they're acting as a pump, right? So with that expansion, they're almost like when you press on your brakes, right? When you press on the brakes in your car, you're putting pressure. The brake pedal is putting pressure on a hydraulic system, the hydraulic fluid, and it's pressing on it, right? It's contracting it, right? So in a way, when our lungs expand, right, they're putting pressure in every direction on our body. That pressure is like a wave. You can think of it as a wave. It's a wave of pressure. So, for example, to simplify this, when I inhale, some pressure is moving up, right? I could literally feel a wave or a line of pressure, the leading edge of that pressure moving up. I could also feel it moving out, and I could feel it moving down, and I could feel it moving front and back, in and out, right? And what I try to do when I meditate is to get into a certain physical slash mental state where I am effortlessly directing that expansion and contraction and the pressure it creates, right, within the physical tissues of my body to different body parts. So I explained in my first video that one of my goals when I meditate is initially to eliminate all muscular tension in my body, right? And the reason I want to do that is muscular tension in the body keeps your consciousness external, looking out. And when I meditate, I'm trying to go in. So I can't really go deeply in until I eliminate all the muscular tension, right? A tool that I use to eliminate that muscular tension is directing the pressure that's created when my lungs expand and contract. So, for example, if I'm feeling, for me, a common problem when I meditate is once I get everything completely relaxed, I could still feel lots of tension in my throat and in the muscles around my eyes. So to relieve that tension, to release that tension, what I'm doing is controlling the expansion and contraction of my lungs so that they're moving, that all the energy of expansion is moving up, which creates pressure, and that wave of energy moves up, and I stop expanding. I stop pushing the wave when it gets to my throat. Right. So what that leading edge of the wave is essentially massaging my throat. That's what it's doing. It's you got pressure pushing up, releasing, pushing up, releasing. And if I could do that enough times, the tension, it's like a fabric being expanded and contracted. If it eventually gets loose, and that's what happens. I can almost feel like a knot is finally just releasing. Same thing with my eyes. Okay. So that's how I think about um, controlling the breath. There's a lot more to say about this, which I'll do in another video, but those are the basic concepts that I'm working with, right? To get the body into a relaxed state so I could go deeper within.